Good morning. There we go. Good morning. Oh, it's good to see everybody here today. All right, shall we start off with our welcome song? All right. Uh-huh. Differences and we do things our own way, but we are one in a welcoming heart right here and right now. How we we believe these Unity 5 principles. So we can just say them together out loud. God is all things. We are each an expression of God. We create experiences through our way of thinking and acting. Affirmative prayer and meditation help us to align with the divine within. And knowledge of these principles is not enough. We must live them. All right, we're going to go into our prayer song.
that the infinite source works through each of us
of the all, that always says yes to us and gives us more than what we imagine, more than we could ever use, more than we could ever dream of. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is. Got a new wake-up song for y'all today, and I'm gonna need some help with it. I'm gonna need y'all to stand up. I'm gonna ask you to stand up, okay? And you're gonna put your hands together. If you want to stomp your feet, stomp your feet. Okay? This is an energy one here. Okay? Any luck, this will get stuck in your head because this is such a good affirmation. All right, so we're going to start chanting this together, all right? Here we go. I am free, I am unlimited. 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 I am free. I am free, I am unlimited. I am free, I am unlimited. I am free, I am unlimited. I am free. I am free to live a life expanding infinitely. I am free to be someone who believes all I need is within me. And to be free, to be unlimited is my destiny, and I'm singing it. I am free as God created me. Everything's working out for me. When I believe, then I will see. My life is filled with possibility. To be unlimited, to be me. Okay, one more time now. I am free, I am unlimited. I am free, I am unlimited. I am free, I am unlimited. We are free, we are unlimited. We are free, we are unlimited. We are free, we are unlimited. We are free. All right. I want to thank you guys for indulging me in that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Was a little nervous, actually a little nervous to do this song. And I want to also thank the Unity Band. All right, let's give these guys a hand, right? Showing up, doing all that they do. All right. Oh, this feels good. This feels good. All right. Well, today we are going even deeper into our Abundant Living series. And abundance, I've gone through this book before that I'm basing all this on. And I did that back in 2019. And I am getting so much more out of it as I'm going through it now. For that, I love that. Well, I guess really everything can do that. As you know, as we're growing, we go deeper and we learn, we get something different out of it when we go through it again. So I've really been enjoying this. Keep wanting to grab a pick. So abundance, what we're doing in going through the abundant living is we're learning about what abundance really is. And abundance is really just a consciousness. That's it. It's a consciousness. More than enough, more than not enough. Like we've got a life full of more than enough, or we have a life full of not enough. So abundance, really it shows up in our way of thinking, believing, and then acting. And so when we believe that in our life we have more than enough, we'll think, and then our beliefs turn into our acting. So, you know, it may be that we see somebody asking for money, you know, around the holidays, and with no problem, we just throw $5 into their jar or whatever, okay? Because we're just, our way of thinking and acting is we feel abundance. We feel more than enough. But sometimes with our fears of not enough, even that $5, it might be hard to let go of that. And that's just where we are. It's just where we are. Prosperity then is the demonstration of that. Our way of thinking, believing, and acting creates our life, right? So we're living a life thinking, believing, and acting. And that's our third unity principle. Our way of thinking and acting creates our next experience. And so very quickly, I'll just go through the abundance rules we've already gone through. That we're one with life. That's rule number one. We are one with life. And this is such a powerful rule to understand because God is all things, and that means each of us. And this is so wonderful because it means any solution we could possibly need, all of life works together for that solution for us. And so a solution can come from a strange place, a place we never expected. Okay, so that's how, like, all of life is supporting us. All of life rushes to meet us. The second rule is we live in an expanding universe. So the all creates all things and continues to. So in our physical world, you look at a mighty oak tree. It doesn't just grow one acorn to replace itself. It grows enough acorns that over its lifespan, probably in the tens of thousands of acorns, if not hundreds of thousands. I just don't even know. Okay, but see, we're also created to create, which means we can have children, we can grow families, but also we're growing ideas. We're manifesting ideas in our life. We're not ever just going to get only one good idea. We're going to keep getting good ideas, because this allows the universe to expand through us. Our third rule is to be consciousness. We are actually the gatekeeper for what is created through us. We're the gatekeeper. And so it's up to us, though, to notice if we're in the consciousness of nothing ever works out for me, the universe doesn't have my back, why is everything so hard, why are things easy for other people and not for me? We've got to notice, we're the one who has to notice that we're doing that, right? When I used to really be engrossed in my victim mentality, like somebody did try sharing that with me, and I was like, what do they know? I'm such a positive person. Somebody else couldn't do it for me. I had to be the one to figure it out. All right, so we're the ones who are accountable for our consciousness. And then being focused. Being focused, I see this more, we are directing because we're the gatekeepers of what we create, but I see being focused as a gift for us because we can change our focus. This is something we can change. We can decide, like if we want to focus on creating something good, we can decide if we want to get caught up in the negativity on social media, right? It's up to us because we're accountable for our consciousness. When we're not feeling great about what we're focusing on, we can pick something that we would like to focus on, okay? Even if it's solutions, even if we're having a tough time, we can choose to go ahead and focus on being one with life and how life rushes to support us. Our fifth rule is to be in the flow. And so this flow, right, there's a constant flow in our universe. There's the flow of giving, and then there's the flow of receiving. But then included in this is in the flow is utilizing what we've been given. And so I was thinking about that as I looked through my clothes over this last weekend. And I was thinking, well, I have a couple of things that I've worn like one time. Those are not being utilized, right? Not everything that I own is being utilized for its best. So I've decided to get in my flow by finding new homes for some of this stuff. So we want to utilize what we receive. And if we can't use it, send it on to somebody who can. Be passionate. Okay, be passionate about what we're doing. When we're loving what we do and we're doing what we love, we actually, this causes a surge of vital force energy to work through us. Yesterday, my husband was working on building this thing in the garage. It's a woodworking thing, but it looks like, I don't know, it just looks like lots of tiny wood puzzle pieces. But he was in the flow with that, building that. Like he didn't eat anything. And like it was like 8 o'clock at night before he even got himself dinner, right? Because he was so in the flow, right? He was so into what he was doing. That feels good when we get into what we're doing. Feels really good. We know what that feels like. And then today we're going into our rule of be blessed, right? Abundant living, be blessed. What it's really doing is a perspective. So we focus on what's right in our life, what's good in our little universe that we've created. And so here's the premise. There is a difference between counting your blessings and knowing you are blessed. This is the power of perspective. Knowing you are blessed originates in your heart with a simple awareness that you are blessed with the gift of life, right? There's where we can start. Counting your blessings happens exponentially as you awake to your oneness with the principle of abundance and see it manifesting your life daily. Okay, so we have to know we're blessed. We have to have awareness. We have to pay attention. We have to claim our blessings. Now, here's a fun fact. I got this from Rhonda Byrne, who wrote The Secret. But this is from her book, The Magic, which is all about gratitude. I'm paraphrasing her, but she says basically that if we are not appreciating our life, we are taking it for granted. I experienced this back in 2018. I got a series of pretty heavy-duty head colds. I remember thinking, I can remember what it felt like to be able to breathe really deeply. And I was excited for that, when my cold finally cleared up. And now, even, sometimes I'll just be like, Whoa, that was a nice deep breath. And I now notice that, okay? So if we are not appreciating things in our life, we're taking them for granted. So with all of these blessings in our life, we are infinitely blessed. And we don't always know that. I remember thinking, years ago, like I can't think of one single thing. And I would, if I was angry or if I was feeling I don't have anything right now, I actually believed that. Right? I wasn't thinking about how like I could walk around, like I could go do something. Right? So I wasn't even thinking that. So when we're not experiencing, we're not knowing how we're blessed, our awareness of this keeps us from all of our available abundance, all of the available good that is waiting to be called forth through us. Stuff. We collect something, we think, I just have to have this thing and then life will be great, and then it goes in a pile. And actually I brought in an essential oil because I would collect essential oils, I love them, but then I wasn't using them. And I was like, well, I gotta save them for a special occasion. Some of these are really expensive. And then I smelled one recently and it had gone bad. Just throw it out. So I'm like, I'm sitting them out and I'm using them all. I'm using them every day. I'm gonna pick one of them, right? And appreciate all of these essential oils. So really, this is the secret to life. To receive these blessings is we have to know we're infinitely blessed so we can experience that we are infinitely blessed. And we are infinitely blessed because we live in an infinite universe and we live in an expanding universe. So whatever it is that we give in our lives, because we live in an expanding universe, we're still going to receive back more than what we gave. So here's something Wallace Wattles said. The more gratefully we fix our minds on the supreme, right, on the all, when good things come to us, the more good things we will receive and the more rapidly they will come. And the reason simply is that the mental attitude of gratitude draws the mind into closer touch with a source from which the blessings come. So a practice of gratitude in our lives is actually a magnet for good, right? But it's turning this into a practice. It's something that needs to be done every day for us to start noticing that it's happening, right? Just like if you want to start eating healthy, you don't eat healthy on just Monday and then like eat all the horrible stuff for the rest of the week. You're not gonna really notice anything. To increase in our life, anything we want to change or up level, it becomes a daily thing that we've got to do. And this is the same with gratitude. And I have had a gratitude practice now for several years where I list everything. I list 10 things out every day. I say them out loud, and I don't repeat anything for 7 days, right? So don't repeat. And that is a wonderful gratitude practice. But we got to do it all the time. This is how we call forth greater good into our lives. It's how we expand all this, all the good. Okay, so one of the things, of course, we want to look at is what are we focusing on when we think about our blessings, because we don't always focus on our blessings. Sometimes we're focusing on the things that are going wrong in our life. But we have to acknowledge the blessings before we can experience the blessing. So we start with the package of our life, right? That's where we start noticing the blessings, right? The blessings right now are like, I got here today. I can move around, right? I did sleep last night, And then here's another way now I'm practicing blessings. Okay, I got 6 hours of sleep last night because of my puppy. And I get up with my puppy. And I think I've got a puppy, and this is because I have finally got my puppy, and I'm feeling the blessing of her, of having her in my life. But I know it can be tempting to focus on what's wrong. I also woke up this morning with a sore back, and I wanted to immediately be like, oh my gosh, I've always got such a sore back. But I'm not remembering, well, you know what, really, I've come pretty far. My back used to be way worse, like back in 2018, and here I am right now. Really, the blessing is that I'm getting stronger, I'm losing weight, I move in a way that I never could move before. And then I was like, when I did that this morning, I was like, oh, my back's fine. That'll be fine. I just need to move around a little. And it really was fine. Okay, so we want to acknowledge so we can experience the blessing. Because what we know in unity is that the more energy we focus on something, the more vital life force energy goes to it, right? The more that we empower it, the more we expand it in our experience. Because we live in an expanding universe. So all the blessings we focus on, we receive even back more of that. So you can see that being blessed, it's not just a trite expression to walk around and say, oh, I'm just so blessed, right? It's not something trite. This is a really deep work for us to do. And I talk to people, and I used to do this, right? Well, I just really want to do some deep spiritual work. Really deep. I want to do deep, life-changing spiritual work. And I'll always say, practice living complaint-free and keep a gratitude list every day. And I'll almost always hear, from people outside of Unity, I'll always hear, oh, please, that's just so easy. It's like, maybe easy. I mean, it's simple. That's really what it is, right? It's simple, but really, do it every day. It's easy to stay off sugar for like a half hour, even if there's candy out, because I know somebody's watching me. So I'm just like, oh, I'm not going to do sugar, because then people will be like, Deanna, eat that sugar. I know you wouldn't do that, but I like you all keeping me accountable, so thank you. Okay? But see, we're mastering a spiritual practice when we practice gratitude, when we notice where we're blessed so we can experience where we're blessed. This is a spiritual mastery. So here's the problem. Being blessed is not something you have to earn. So this is the easy part. You already are abundantly blessed. The challenge is that those blessings will never be actualized as long as you are obsessed or wrong with your life. Now, for those of you who were here last January, you heard my story about my Australian Shepherd have yet. And I couldn't find the blessing. I didn't have my dog yet, right? I was easily mesmerized by what I saw as being wrong in my life, which is that I did not have my Australian Shepherd. I've been waiting for an Australian Shepherd for 20 years, and I still didn't have her. And then I did the next thing, which is I would see other people's good fortune, those people walking their Australian Shepherds, and I would get mad. That's not fair. How did they get their Australian Shepherd and I don't have mine, and I'm a good person? So I was not only not appreciating all the blessings that were already in my life, everything else, but then I was mad at somebody else because they did have the blessing. They had the blessing that I wanted. And so we get in, if we're obsessing over what appears to be missing or wrong in our life, we'll get consumed. We'll get consumed with that one thing we think we need so that we can be happy, right? And then life will be perfect, and so we won't notice all the other good things. When we focus on what's missing, eventually we get that, if we do get that, and then that'll always lead to focusing on something else. That's why, I'm not going to keep getting dogs, and I've learned a lot through getting my puppy Lilu, which she's 9 months old now as of Friday. But it's why I have 250 essential oils, right? I kept thinking, well, really, this is the essential oil I need that'll heal everything and change my bad attitude, right? And so I had to, I really did have to change my way of thinking to get off that wagon, okay? So while we're not noticing all the blessings of life, right, we're missing out. We're not giving the attention to those things that actually do enrich us, right? our body that did get us here, even if we've got some aches and pains, right? The relationships where we feel loved and cared for, time to do things like read or crochet or like work out or like whatever thing you love to do. Go on a hike, drive your car, listen to music, write a song. We are going to miss out on so much if we get focused on a thing we need to have first so we can feel good about our lives. So, and in that trap of needing a thing, all the good that we have is just going to feel like it's withering away. Gratitude is actually the glue that keeps the good in our life and draws good to us. When we focus on the blessings, isn't this interesting? It initiates a gravitational pull of more good, right? This is not just saying, we'll have gratitude so you get more to be grateful for. This is actually some kind of quantum science thing. There is a thing, a movement that happens in the field, okay? We're sending out something, and that has to be replaced with a like-tion. And this is science. It's not me just being new agey, all right? When we focus on the blessing, it initiates a gravitational pull of more good. Focusing on the blessings. This is a deep spiritual practice, right? It creates a cycle of good as long as we keep thinking about the things that we're. So here's the principle. You are one with a universe that is expanding by its very nature. When you bless something, you are instructing the universe to enlarge upon it. Right? Let's think about that again. When you bless something, you are instructing the universe to enlarge upon it. The practice of a lifetime is to make blessing your life a daily ritual, knowing that in so doing, you are accessing and directing the principle of abundance in a very positive manner, right? We are instructing the universe to enlarge upon our blessings. This is the reason that the Apostle Paul, when he wrote his letters to the Thessalonians, and I know the first time I saw this, I just did not agree with it. But he said, in all things, give thanks. And I was thinking at the time, I'm not thankful for all things, right? There's some I don't like. And I'm not thankful for this thing, or I'm not thankful for that thing, and I wish it would just go away. Somebody, my old minister, Joanne Bacon at Unity, she pointed out, like, you're not giving thanks that are hurting you or harming, wrecking things for you. You're finding in all things, meaning whatever's going on in your life, find something to be grateful for. Now this then did impact me, because in our lives, there is frequently going to be something that is uncomfortable, that is hard. We may experience grief, we may experience trauma, we may have anger, we may be concerned, we may be hurting, someone we love may be hurting. But even though there's things going on that we don't like, that we wish would change, that we wish never happened, we find that one little thing to be grateful for, even though, right, in that moment our life is feeling. Okay, we find that one little thing so that we're instructing the universe to enlarge upon that. So no matter how we're hurting in our lives, when we find that one thing to be grateful for, that it's not raining rocks even, right? I mean, just find anything. We find one thing to be grateful for. Like, I got some milk in my fridge, right? Whatever that is. I've got somebody who supports me, and I've got a book to read. We find the one thing to be grateful. We are instructing the universe to enlarge upon it. That blessing creates a gravitational bringing more good to us. So no matter what is going on in our life, when to be grateful for, find anything and anything, find something to be grateful for. now we're opening the way for solutions. We're opening the way for ideas. So maybe now, okay, we get inspired on how to move through this really hard time that we may be going through. So in everything, in all things, find the one thing to be grateful for. So here's the practice. When we begin to look beyond our obvious, between the cracks and crevices of our daily life, we begin to see with new eyes, eyes that are able to perceive infinite grace and the principle of abundance operating in exquisite and subtle ways. Again, the power of a positive perspective opens the portal of plenty by igniting the attitude of gratitude. Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone, right? Like on that morning, you realize you have no coffee in your house, right? All of a sudden, like we realize, coffee is very important to me, right? Often when we see something over and over again, we get for granted, right? Things that we see over and over again, the more we see it, the more invisible it becomes to us. So I remember, of all of you here, how many times in the last month did you take something clean out of your closet to wear and give thanks for your washing machine? I didn't do that. My washing machine's invisible until it stops working. And then I pay a lot of attention to it. Okay? So we want to become aware of what's become invisible. Because when we become aware of what we take for granted, this is part of that deep, deep work of this deep, deep spiritual practice. What are we unaware of that we would really miss? I mean, think about your comfortable pillow when you climb in bed at night. Like how good it feels when you lay back on your pillow, right? For those of you who came in today with a coffee that you picked up from someplace, right? Of course, there's the cheerful barista that gives us coffee, right? How many of us in the last month had gratitude for the coffee farmers who live in some other country, and it's all because of them we even have coffee beans? I did not give thanks until this morning. I was like, I gotta be thankful for, right? So what are we not noticing? What are we taking for granted? And it's the little things like that. We actually squander the gift when we don't honor it and the giver, right? So we want to honor the giver. Otherwise, it can turn into a kind of entitlement. Like, where's my coffee? I should have had coffee this morning, right? Like last week, mailman's late. I'm expecting something. That guy's supposed to be here already. Like, I'm supposed to get my mail. If I lived 200 years ago and I ordered something, I'd be waiting 3 months for the Pony Express to deliver me something. Right? And I'm like, years ago, where is it? Okay. So here, yeah, we want to notice. What is it that we're not noticing, that we're not giving thanks for? And I know I'm saying there's a lot. And it can feel like I'm going to stand around all day and just list everything that I'm grateful for, because we could. But that's why I say start with 10 things every day. It does not take me more than 10 minutes in the morning. And you could pick one room in your house and just go stand there. I'm grateful, wow, for the ceiling. I'm grateful that I have a stack of toilet paper in my bathroom. I'm great. You could, easily 10 things, right? We don't have to list everything in your life. So here's the payoff. To be blessed, and you are blessed, is to affirm that you are a whole person, that they're missing, irrespective of conditions or the opinions of others. Because a lot of times that's what we look at. The conditions tell me all the advertising and marketing companies are telling me I'm not a whole person because I don't have this thing. Why my life sucks because I don't have this one thing. Right? Or people tell us, we don't have, whatever it is we need. Okay, so this is when you become a blessing to the world and an opening for abundance becomes the norm in your life. We become a blessing to the world when we know we are blessed. We know we are blessed already. So here's our call to action. We'll start with our affirmation. I am infinitely blessed. I'm here to be a blessing to others. Okay, this is a twofold affirmation for us. So let's say it together. And we're going to say it 3 times. I am infinitely blessed. I am here to be a blessing to others. I am infinitely blessed. I am here to be a blessing to others. I am infinitely blessed. I am here to be a blessing to others. And see, there's this saying, like, you can't give what you don't have. And so we cannot be a blessing to others until we truly know ourselves blessed. Okay, we have to really, truly know ourselves to be blessed. Okay, like me, before I got my dog, I was not a blessing to others because I was pointing who had the Australian Shepherds, right? I was not blessing them. I was cursing them. I was sending them bad mojo. I was like, that's not fair. You know, you got that dog. You got my dog. Who's got my dog? So there's no way I could be a blessing to them. Okay? So all of us, we have a very powerful tool. We have a very powerful tool. And that tool, it's kind of twofold. It's our brain, because our brain is filled with all these neural synapses and neurons and pathways and stuff. But we also have a mind, right? Our mind works within all of those neurological things. And so it's still just a tool, though, but a highly resourceful tool. So how are we utilizing this tool of our mind, our ability to change our focus, right? So we can change our thinking, so we can rewire our brain, so we're showing up present every day, right? How are we utilizing this amazing tool? Or like for me, I was busy complaining about those folks that had the dogs that I wanted. But there I was, just busy complaining about them and lamenting how I didn't have what I wanted. I was not using my highly resourceful tool very well. In fact, I was treating it as the equivalent of a treadmill when you hang laundry on it. That's the equivalent. We've got this tool. Are we using it to its best? Are we just hanging our old dirty laundry on it? Okay? So what we can do is, first of all, of course, this is what we can ask ourselves all the time. What am I focusing on? Because this will tell us so much, right? Because really it's about how we feel. How we feel will tell us everything about what we're focusing on. Because we know we cannot complaining about and expect greater things to show up into our life. So what are we focusing on? And then we want to remember we're the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper for what is coming through us. And so we're putting our focus on something. But even if we're having a really horrible day or week or month or year, even if it is really horrible, we're still the gatekeeper. And we can still remind ourselves, okay, wait, I can find one thing to be grateful for right now. Right? I can find that one thing. And we do find that one thing. And it triggers, right, that expansion of more things to be grateful for. Right? It initiates that growth of calling forth greater things. So when we find one thing to be grateful for, and we truly feel that blessing, then we're given more to be grateful for. We'll have the awareness of more to be grateful for. You know, that really, I am free, I am unlimited. I am free, I am unlimited. I am free, I am unlimited. I just had to sing that one more time, so 'cause I really wanted to get stuck in your head. But this is the truth of who we are. We are free, we are unlimited, because there is a universe giving itself to us every day, all the time, right? And we are free to create through ourselves all day long. But what are we creating? All right, are we calling forth greater good? Are we calling forth more struggling, more things to complain about? We really are here to allow and learn to let the universe expand greater good through us. That's what we're learning. That's why there's all these rules, like for prosperity, right? One with life, remember that. Be accountable, be blessed, right? These are all rules, but what happens when we actually practice them? I know I repeat myself a lot. I do. I repeat myself a lot. I talk about God is all things, and that means us. I repeat myself a lot because there's stuff for us to know to start experiencing greater good. And all it's really about is just putting it to work in a deeper and deeper way. And as we start putting all that stuff to work, right, I am free, I am unlimited, as we're putting all this stuff to work, that's going to mean something totally different to us a month from now. Totally different. Right? We are literally here on this planet to bring forth what we are designed to do. That's why it feels so good to do it. Like we are here and we're given everything that we could possibly need if we draw our awareness to it. The universe is supporting us in everything that we do. And it supports us in creating and calling forth, and it gets to experience itself in a greater way through us. This is why we have the gift of grace, and this is why we are loved. We are loved and supported by all of life. We're not just dropped off here. We are loved and we are supported by all of life. Right? That feeling of appreciation that we really get when we find those blessings, that's the universe has that for us all the time. This is why we are free and why we are unlimited. We're here to be a force for good in our own lives and to be a blessing for others. And that is how we are creating heaven on earth. Whew. So until next time, remember, again, you are designed to do all of this. We are designed. We have within us that divine program, like to do all of this and call forth all of the good that we could possibly imagine and even more. Like literally, in everything you do, you are blessed, and so it is. So it is. Thank you. All right, this next song, thanks, Taylor. This next song, I know somebody was telling me, like, it's kind of dark. It's a little dark because we're not here to hide from our pain. We're here to work through. We're here to heal. And, there's a lot in positive thought, new thought, metaphysics, all about how we just have to think happy thoughts all the time. And that's good when we can think happy thoughts. But, even Ernest Holmes said, all of life is not a bed of roses. Sometimes there will be thorns. And we know that we have a thorn and we pull out the thorn and we let ourselves heal. We don't ignore that we have a thorn. We don't try to pretend our arm is perfectly fine, like as it's getting infected and red and we can hardly move it. We know, we notice the places where we are hurting so that we can call the light into that, right? The wound is the place where the light enters in. Okay, so anyway, this song is another thank you song. you strong. So sing another thank you song. Sing another thank you song. The moon and stars will sing along. The sun, it shines on everyone, and you're right here where you belong. The light in you, it makes you strong. So lift your voice and sing along. We'll sing another thank you song. We'll sing another thank you song. And all the angels sing along. Woo! Right on. All right, you ready for some meditation time?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here together. So I like that little rhyme, that little saying, having an attitude of gratitude. And one of my favorite people who I follow, his name's Robert Edward Grant. He's a modern day polymath, genius, explorer, scientist, spiritual guy. And he has this great talk. I would encourage you guys to listen to it. It's a TED Talk. And one of the main focuses of it is that it's almost impossible to experience fear and gratitude at the same time. So when we focus on what we're grateful for, it keeps us in that grounded, parasympathetic, relaxed state of abundance. And we don't have such a proclivity to latch on to negative thinking or protecting ourselves or being in fear. So we're just going to do a simple gratitude practice, and it's because it should be repeated. It's something that we need to program and either learn or unlearn. A lot of the time we're doing more unlearning than we are learning. So we're going to practice some gratitude this morning together. Let's all just take a nice deep breath in together and hold it in. Hold it in and just focus on that rhythmic beat of that beautiful vortex organ known as your heart in the center of your chest. And when it feels right, just audibly sigh that breath out. Now, if we're going through some challenges right now, just like Deanna was sharing, it can be pretty hard to focus on staying grounded and being in gratitude. So we're going to do the easiest version of this that I know of. Close your eyes or focus your awareness on something that won't distract you. And I would encourage your hands over your heart center. And now we're going to move into our mental space, our vision space. And I'm going to invite you guys to just start by focusing your attention and intention on what the easiest thing in your life right now, the easiest thing that you can focus on that will give you a physical, visceral experience, the feeling of gratitude. You can start with your body, just like Deanna said, and the fact that your divine design is allowing you to be right here. Being here right now is our destiny together. You can start by recognizing that you can breathe, that your heart and your chest is still beating, that we have the opportunity to meet here together and create a co-resonating field of loving awareness, that we can focus our intention together on creating a more beautiful world. Maybe it helps to think of your relationships, the state in your heart. And if you feel like you're in a strong place, maybe you can search for and experience some gratitude for your pain, for the challenges that bring more awareness. The wound is where the light comes in. Become connected with your heart in this feeling of gratitude. Your heart literally grows in size. It fills up and engorges with blood when you focus your attention on it. So just remember that with every breath into the center of your chest, your heart is growing in size. And through that heart, fluid. And the movement of that fluid creates an electromagnetic field. So as you breathe in and your heart expands, remember that it has a field of information that goes far beyond your physical body. And that right here, right now, as we breathe together, our heart fields are touching one another. They are expanding. And as we synchronize our thoughts and feelings, see that field of energy and information surrounding this building. Don't just see it, but feel it. Feel that expansive awareness moving beyond the boundaries of your skin. And with every in-breath, you'll grow in density. And allow that field to expand so it co-resonates with the field of our planet. The field of our planet has the same exact geometry as the field of our body, just at a different scale. But we are free limited. And when you allow that field to expand, it synergizes. It creates a synarchy, a hierarchy of ordered information. Just like that field surrounding the entire planet, it's also surrounding your whole inner world. And when you start to find resistance, maybe there's things, people, situations, characteristics that are hard to pull in that field. Just remember that is why we are here. If all the work was done, then we wouldn't be here doing it together. Now, as you see that field resonating at the level of the entire planet, with every exhale, see that field starting to shrink back down, coming back into our country, California, the church gym. And as it shrinks, it's becoming more dense, powerful, and back in the center of your chest. And when you can feel that in your body and you remember the truth, that together here we serve, take one more deep breath in and hold it in. Hold it in again so you become still and you can just sense that rhythmic beat of your heart in your chest. And let's all exhale together in 3, 2, 1. Let's stay in this attitude of gratitude, this field of loving awareness, while I share the daily word with you. Today, Sunday, September 10th. Good thing time isn't real because I'm not noticing it. Holy crap, this is all going by fast. Today's daily word is care. I am here, and I care. Sometimes my heart goes out to a friend or even a stranger who is struggling. Other times, my heart breaks when I learn of another's devastating news. In those moments, I feel the urge to help. I pray, affirming healing, peace, or comfort. I may offer financial support or material goods. I might call on the phone. Even so, I may feel my efforts are not enough, especially when needs are great. But the impulse to care is in many people. The activity of God through so many hearts and hands as I join my efforts with theirs. I trust we can lift up even the most dire situation. I am a caring presence to help, serve, and love. So deeply do we care for you that we are determined to share with you not only the gospel of God, but also our own selves, because you have become very dear to us. 1 Thessalonians 2:8. Together 3 times. I am here and I care. I am here and I care. I am here and I care. Beautiful. So I got some announcements for you guys, and then I'm gonna do. So this is how you give. This is how you support us. This is how we can all still keep showing up here together. All right. So if you feel supported by this, if this message resonates with you, please consider giving. You can Zelle us right there, unityofukaipa@gmail.com. There's QR codes on these pieces of paper floating around. You can pull up your camera on your phone, and it'll take you right there where you can donate. And there's also the love offering baskets on the table where you can put cold hard cash. It's the best kind. Points of interest, check out our sign up for our newsletter. On Tuesday, the book club is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. And if you'd like to volunteer and help set up, we usually do that around 8:45 every Sunday. So if you guys would like to support the church and you can't do it financially, you can show up and support it with your energy. Yeah. Oh, it starts a week from Tuesday. So not this Tuesday, the next one. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm kind of a fan of geometry. So today's daily prayer is about triangles, because the triangle or the Trinity allows us to expand beyond dualism. Left, right, good, bad, up, down. There is something beyond that. And when we connect with that, we can transmute and transform this that many of us feel. Dear Great Spirit, Mother Gaia and Father Time, let us join our hearts and minds in a prayer that celebrates our collective intent to transform, transmute, and transcend, drawing inspiration from the sacred geometry of the triangle, divine trinity that manifests in nature. we stand together as one and also individuals, each with our unique paths and journeys. Today, we recognize the truth that binds us together, forming the sacred trinity of our community, faith, and love. Just as the triangle's three sides work in harmony to create stability, we find unity, supporting one another through life's dynamic unfoldings. We acknowledge the ever-present process of transformation, much like the growth of a seed into a mighty tree. May we embrace change as an opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to become the best versions of ourselves. Grant us the wisdom to recognize the metamorphosis of our lives. The sacred geometry of nature is omnipresent, from the structure of crystals to the pattern of leaves and the hearts and hands of humans. When we recognize this and are reminded of the divine order that underlies the chaos of our world, help us remember the truth of who we are. As we pray together, we transform our hearts, minds, and souls. We transmute our doubts into unwavering faith, our fears into courage, and our weaknesses into strengths. Guide us in the alchemical process of transmutation, turning our struggles into opportunities for growth and enlightenment. Finally, we transcend the perceived limitations of our earthly existence. We actualize spiritual realization, and like the triangle pointing upwards towards the heavens, with intent and awareness. This is how we connect with the divine, granting us the grace to rise above the challenges that confront us, knowing that we are loved and guided. In unity, we find strength. In transformation, we find growth. In transmutation, we find renewal. And in transcendence, we find our connection to the eternal. And as we reflect upon these sacred principles and the geometry of nature that surrounds us, may we draw inspiration to live our lives in harmony with the divine plan. Amen and namaste. I'll circle up and do our peace song.
Amen.